I really just think that prove me wrong, people. The millennial generation has had a lot to offer, and I think it's because we have such a unique position in the timeline. You know what I mean?
Something that we need to talk about. Maybe you feel like we do enough justice to Ice Cube because he should have been in the top 5 of the, of the 90s, and I'm a big Cube fan, so that's the reason I said that. But
I mean, look at that shirt. He wearing that Ice Cube today was a good day shirt right now. He representing.
I just need a Raiders hat on, bro, for sure. Oh, man, that's funny.
How did Big 3 do last summer, man? Tell me about it. All right.
What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of Room 518. It's your family, Big Country, and we also have my boy, Dant. We here to talk to you today, man. Have a good time, man. We enjoy having you in the room, so let's get to it. Dant, how was your weekend, man? How was your week?
That's good. The week was good. It was an interesting week. As you know, Southeast got some weather, ice and snow and whatever. We talked about it a little bit in the last episode, so just to catch up. It did happen in one way or another. Up here in the Carolinas, we got a ton of ice that we were working through all week. And so that meant kind of remote work for me for most of the week, which was great because, I don't like going anywhere anyway. I was good for most of the week. I think I finally went back out, to in-person work on Thursday. Most of my week was, kind of being in the house and just kind of enjoying the family and getting some work done from afar. I didn't really do a whole lot because we were inside, except talking to you. That's about it. What about you?
Yeah, that's trash, bro. We didn't get none. And I was at my job stuck the whole weekend because they don't let you leave like that. They'll let you leave, but if you can't get back, the amount of stuff that they give you for not being there is tragic. So I was just stayed around the job, man, all weekend.
Is there food there? Like, what do y'all do for? Oh, I guess it's got a cafeteria and whatnot.
Yeah, it's they have they actually give you food vouchers. They pay for you. They make you a meal. They don't necessarily pay for the meals they normally serve in the hospital.
Well, you know what? I did catch your breakfast post or something like this.
Bro,
was that you? That was you, right? It seemed like it was a little lackluster for you that day.
Bro, they complained about that, though. They fixed that. They fixed that on the way out, man. They made sure they
Get out of here.
Because the hospital.
Did somebody see your post or were other people talking about it?
Everybody at the job was talking about it. It was horrible, bro. I don't mention my job name on post because you can't do that. You know what I mean? You'll get in trouble for that. But as far as just the food, I was like, bro, what? I took a picture of that plate. Like, I know damn well they didn't do us like this. Like, man, so many of my friends, so
just
many
looking at your post, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Everything just looked dry and lonely. Like it was just.
Hey, my cousin said, what's those white things in the back?
And they were potatoes, right?
Yeah, they were potatoes.
Okay,
bro.
All right. That's what
Yo, when I got them, I was like, are y'all giving us little square lumps of bread? What is this supposed to be?
What's with the croutons this morning? Like, what we doing? Croutons for breakfast, bro? I don't know about that. It did look like a sad, lonely breakfast. Like,
bro, it was rough, man. But I tell you what, man, they corrected it. I don't know who got talked to, but the head chef was there because, our hospital is a nicer hospital.
A chef did that?
The chef wasn't there, and whoever the assistant person was that runs the kitchens when he's not there did that. So I guess he got a phone call, and he stayed there the next night overnight to make sure that when we got up in the morning that it was like grits, eggs, bacon, sausage, you know what I'm saying? Like the works, bro. And he was standing right there, bro. Because I'm pretty sure he got some comments about the way kind of the employees were acting that worked the kitchen too, because they were being kind of rude about it. You know what I'm saying? We like, yo, this what y'all serving us. This what you get. This all you can get. I'm like, bro, it's not jail,
it's snowing
dude.
Outside. We can't go nowhere else. Get out of here.
Thanks, bro.
You hungry?
Man, because when I went through the line, I said, so we can't get no grits. It was like, oh, you can go over there and buy some grits.
The easiest.
I'm like, bro, you can, for as much as you paid for them dried ass potatoes, we can make 500 people some grits.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
I can make a big bowl of grits.
Pot of grit, bro. So I was like, I was just like, dude, because I will say that sausage that was on the plate, that's chicken sausage. That joint was good. The chicken sausage is good.
I don't think I've ever had
it's a good quality.
That doesn't sound right.
Chicken sausage?
Yeah.
Chicken sausage tastes good, bro.
I never heard of it.
You've
Wow, that's
never
the
had
first.
chicken?
No, no. I think I've had like, of course, like pork and I think turkey, maybe beef. Yeah,
Bro,
beef. But
bro,
I've never
you
had. I don't think I've ever had chicken. I didn't know they were
bro,
sausaging chicken.
Delia's chicken sausage is amazing, amazing.
Whose is?
Delia's. I don't even know if they sell
Okay,
them.
okay.
You know, they actually have stores down here, and you can buy them. So I know they sell them down here. But no, man. Other news, man. I know you don't know about sports, bro. You're not a big sports guy. Sorry, I ain't trying to take no shots. But man,
I'm good.
The Falcons
It's not
picked
a
their
lie.
coach. The Falcons picked their coach for this coming season after we hired Matt Ryan, bro. Very sad about this, man. We
Mm,
picked up we pretty much the Atlanta Browns now, man. We picked up Kevin Stefanski, who's the coach of the Cleveland Browns, and also
mm.
his offensive coordinator at the same time, bro. And I'm like, this is a team. Our
Did they have
team
like a
actually had
winning team? The
no, they
Browns?
were trash, bro. Our team was better than their team this year with the coach that we fired, bro. Atlanta be doing some Atlanta shit, bro. I tell you, my feelings been hurt by it. But I'm a Falcons fan, so. But nah, man, that's pretty much what the weekend was like, bro. The weekend, man, real crazy as far as the weather was concerned, man. But,
This weekend too about the weather. We have some weather concerns, I think.
well, that's why I keep. If you don't see me
It
look to,
started snowing a little bit about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago.
yeah, if you see me keep looking out the window, that's what I'm looking for. Cause I'm like, yo, if it look like it picking up at all, I
Going
gotta
to make a break for
head
the
out.
exit. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
so just so y'all know, 518, if this is an abbreviated episode, if we only give y'all 25 minutes this week, then it's because my man had to go. He's got to serve the public. You know, this is what we do. It's what we do.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
We got
I'm happy to
jobs.
be in here this week, man. I'm always excited to come in here and just kind of chop it up with you about what's going on during the week. I did hear one bit of sad news yesterday. Well, a couple of bits of sad
Yeah,
news and dismaying news yesterday that I don't know if you heard about or not. I'll get the saddest news out of the way first. Catherine O'Hara died yesterday. I don't
Home
know if you know
Alone
who that
mom.
is. Yeah, she's the mom from Home Alone. I mean, that's, one of our TV and movie moms from growing up. Yeah.
I was about to
And
say,
if you're
bro.
from around our era, you've seen Home Alone a billion times, and if you kind of grown up with her, you saw Beetlejuice. She's the
Beetlejuice.
mom in that. She was in, if you got a little older with her, you watched her in Schitt's Creek. She was the
Yep.
mom in that as well, and hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Everything I've seen her in, she's been naturally funny, just brought a lot to it. And I personally was just like, no, because it kind of came out of nowhere. I think I saw
Yeah.
her a few weeks or months ago at something, and she seemed perfectly healthy. It just reminds you of how kind of fragile life is sometimes, how you can
I
be here
saw
and
her
then not be here.
I saw her on something where she was doing a random, like somebody caught her on the street, did a quick talk to her. And she was looking a lot older. She looked like she was aging kind of hard, like all of a sudden, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I didn't know if that was something to do with it. But a lot of times, shoot, cinematic looks are way different than what you look like when you're outside of the house
Yeah,
anyway.
movie magic, movie magic. You're
Yeah,
right, you're
man.
right. But
You can
she,
make
I mean, she was 71, and I think they were saying she had had a brief illness, so maybe it was something
yeah.
of late, the last couple weeks and months that really just kind of took her down, and it's sad. Uh, but like I said, I just wanted to appreciate somebody, one of our generational superstars, white, black, or indifferent. Sometimes people just make a mark,
Yeah, they do.
and
She's
I think
definitely
she
one.
was one of them. Yeah, I think she was one of them. So, shout out, rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara.
Yes, sir.
Other news, though, Don Lemon got arrested yesterday.
No, what was wild is the fact that you called that out the week before on the Quiet Loud. That's what was wild.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
yo, you literally said Don Lemon might get arrested. And
yeah,
then he
yeah,
then he got arrested. I was
yeah.
happy to hear Jasmine Crockett Jasmine Crockett post about that yesterday
Mm-hmm.
actually. And Trump, they don't like her. That's one
No,
per
no.
they don't like.
She's one of those enemy number one types,
Yeah,
because she is fearless, and and not only that, she knows what she's talking about. It's not just empty courage. she knows what she's talking about. She's on the side of right, and she's building up steam too. And I think that makes these people really nervous. Yeah, and
And
she is now running for U.S. Senate as well.
yes,
So she's going to
yes.
be a force in Texas. If she can pull that off, that is going to be a major upset in Texas.
Her, the prosecutor from Georgia, Fannie, I can't think of her last name.
Fannie Willis.
Yeah, Fannie Willis. Bro, let me tell you something.
Fannie
It's
Willis
a
ain't
reason
no
why they
joke.
be scared of black women, because black women cross all the T's, dot all the I's, bro. She been killing her and Governor Perdue, ex-governor of Georgia. They been slaughtering that. They slaughtering that case, bro. Like, and it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, man, hey, look, when it comes to a black woman that has put it together, black men, we know when we listening to a white man try to argue with a black woman, we looking like you're not gonna win that.
I mean, he's already lost. The moment you started digging in, it was over.
It was over. The moment when you saw her face when you saw her eyes get big,
she did a "that's what I wanted you to do" kind of a face. Like, I expected this. I was ready for this. Here we go. And everybody else kind of leans in because it's about to be tough. And when I watched that Fannie Willis hearing, I was like, my gosh, they really stayed in there with her all these hours? Because I would have been like, okay, all right,
this is done. Let's go. Let's go
30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. I'm like, all right, she's not worried at all. She wasn't nervous at all. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
In fact, she turned that thing around and was pointing it back at all of those dudes, and the former governor is just sitting there like, I mean, go ahead. Yeah.
Yep. I don't need to help you. You got it.
Right. It was amazing to see, and you are correct to. I think you're so right to draw a line between those two because they have that same quality, Fannie Willis and Jasmine Crockett, and you see it from the New York Attorney General too, Letitia James. He did the same thing to her. He went after her as well, and she stood up. I'm not
strong.
I'm not going to be afraid of this. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to make me afraid. I know that I'm right, and I'm going to keep pursuing this. And they all came out on the other side. Now, they haven't come after Jasmine Crockett in a legal way, but they come after her in every other way you can, though. So, so I'm wishing everybody luck as they move forward in their careers. Fannie Willis, as far as all that goes, I mean, I think she is still an amazing person, but come on, when you've got the former president of the United States on trial, don't have a weird affair with the prosecuting attorney, with the lead attorney. Like, come on, bro. We got the whole thing riding on this, and now we couldn't even get him on that because of this impropriety right here. And guess what, bro? Nobody cares about the fact that they had some kind of relationship. I don't care. We know full well he wasn't using this money to take her on trips. She made more money than he does. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no impropriety going on, but it does look bad. And I'm saying you have to make sure that stuff is absolutely right on your side because this dude is, scum, and he is going to do what scum does. He is going to try to pull on every single thread. He's going to try to get you as dirty as possible. And you just have to not play that game. And
that's right.
When they came out with that allegation, I was like, oh, that can't be true. It's true. It's true. You know what I mean?
It's true,
I mean, people. So
people going, but my thing is,
surprised. I was just kind of disappointed.
Yeah, and that right there for me, that was the smallest part of the whole situation. Because at the end of the day, the reason this happened is because and this is the reason this trial was pushed so far back, is because they needed to buy enough time for Georgia to cancel the whole situation, to strike that whole situation, and that's what ended up happening. So they won in that sense, but I really feel I really applaud Fannie for holding her own and standing up for what she knew.
She did.
Because the allegations that they had against her, out of all of them, that was probably the most minuscule in comparison.
But they want her to look bad. You see what I'm saying? That's really what the whole thing was about. It's like, oh, are we going to make any of this stuff stick? Probably not. But we want to make her look bad. That's the main thing that they do. It's about making things appear to be a certain way. I mean, think about it. The whole 2020 election was predicated on the fact that Joe Biden was going to be the nominee, right? So you had Donald Trump call the president of another country and say, hey, say Joe Biden was doing something over here that was illegal and y'all got him under investigation. And dude was like, I don't think we could do that. And he's like, you still want this protection from this other country? Then you'll do it. And dude was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And when they didn't do it, now those two countries are at war with each other. You see what I'm saying?
Bro,
And
that's what's crazy,
he's
bro.
claiming that he won the election that he lost. And so even though this Fonnie Willis thing didn't happen because it didn't happen, now they're raiding election offices in Georgia. That happened over this week as well. So, you know, we're not going to get too bogged down in politics because that's on another show. But
Yeah.
that's just to catch you guys up, man. There's stuff going on. Please keep your eye to what's happening. And I know y'all are paying attention in Georgia. I'm not even down there and I'm paying attention.
But guess what, though?
But keep your eyes and ears open, guys, because this election is going to be under threat.
And guess what, though? Like, we may end up having these little talks where we kind of get into politics, but this is what Room 518 is. This is really what we would have did in college, which is crazy because we were in college literally talking politics. But look, man, past that, man, I wanted to know how you felt about the current music, man. I was actually
Oh, man. Shoot.
I was actually looking today. Well, no, this week. So you had T.I. drop a new song.
Hearing good things.
Oh, bro, look, we got a lot of people got a lot of 40-year-olds in their car feeling real young and swaggy right now.
I haven't heard it.
What?
Come on, bro. Tell me what the name of it is.
Stop saying that stuff out loud, sir.
Hey, we supposed to be amongst friends. You're supposed to pull me up.
Oh,
Don't make
man.
me feel bad. Pull me up. I told you I heard it drop. I just hadn't heard it yet. Pull me into the fray. Help me.
All right. So
you don't even know what the name of it is. That's what that's what you're stalling for.
I want to say it's called Let 'Em Know.
Yeah, I already got a hold of it.
Yeah. But it is dope, bro. I've listened to it way too many times. Honestly, it feels a lot like the Rich Homie Quan. It's got some of the Rich Homie Quan feel to it.
Okay, I know the name, but am not familiar.
I can't think of the name of the song. It
won't matter. I won't know what it is.
But it's really dope, bro. It's he really in his bag right now. He actually, I think that song is gonna be. I think this album that he's doing is gonna be pretty dope. He said that he wanted to, represent Atlanta right before he do his album, which I thought the last album.
So this is a last album because people say all the time this is the last album and then we come out. I mean, should we? Here's a deeper question. I'm gonna let you say what you're gonna say, but if you can piggyback on this part at the end of it, that'd be great. Here's a bigger question. So he is what, 46, 45, 46, something like that? Right?
Yeah, he around there.
Yeah. So are we surprised that he's coming out because we thought he might have been done, or are we surprised that he is approaching middle age and still dropping?
Okay, so you just really broached the whole subject matter for today, sir. Appreciate that. You kind of dug in. All right, no, that's good, man. Really, that's the thing, bro. With him coming out right now, looks so good from this perspective, right? Is the fact that he is a 45, 40, I think he's 45, 46-year-old rapper that's able to push out an album. But not just that, man. We have the Clips that have now dropped the album. Clips have a member that's 50 years old.
Clips, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And this was over the last year, right? I heard some songs.
Yeah, Clips dropped probably 4 months ago, maybe.
Right.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
I want to say
I have a thought or two about that as well. But I'm gonna let you finish, but let's come back around to just remind me.
Clips dropped the album, which I'm gonna be honest, when Clips dropped, I was like, don't be talking about dope this whole album. I don't want to.
Okay, so that was my point, because I feel like they are still skilled. I heard some songs, I feel like they're still skilled, but at our age now and knowing who they are, is that still the subject matter we should be talking about when we know clearly you are beyond that realm? Now you're at a level where you're not in that. I know they say write what you know, but do you still know that world? Are you still doing that? Are we still?
Well, see, that's what makes this album so dope. If I'm being honest with you now, because when you talk about Pusha kind of get in that lane, especially when he on somebody else stuff. He love to talk about dope. Like he got a dope punchline for everything. You know what I'm saying? But in this album, bro, he opened up so much. Like him and Malice, man, what they did on this album was so far
Is it
from
still
that.
Malice? Did he go
his
back to
name.
Malice?
I don't know if he went to Malice for the album or not, but you call him No Malice. But I'll tell you what, man, the album was definitely it was thoughtful. Like if you listen to the whole project, it might have been one song where they kind of give reference that way, but for the most part, it's like you're digging into the relationship with your mom. I've never heard them do that. Just the way that they approached this album was so different. You could tell that they went to the studio and they sat in the studio like when they would have been kids, and it was real thought
Okay.
provoking when they came about it. But when you have a producer like Pharrell on your tracks doing your stuff, that's kind of
You
what
almost
happens
can't miss.
on box. You know what I mean?
And let me tell you, in the vein of talking about this kind of music or whatever, you almost can't mention them, especially when talking about our kind of coming of age
Yeah,
era, like the early thousands, the latest
yeah,
is the earliest 2000s when their sound kind of started merging on the scene and everybody's going, Pharrell's popping up in the videos and whatnot. And everybody's like,
yeah.
who's that guy that keeps popping up in all of these different songs? And you start hearing that that Neptune's kind of sound.
Exactly.
And I think that really just kind of felt like if you heard that sound coming, you knew it was about to be something you liked. And it felt like everybody was having their revival kind of through them. At
Yeah,
that time, people who had been kind of gone for a minute were dropping, and then they were dropping hits. I want to say Babyface dropped a hit with the Neptunes. I want to say Tony Braxton dropped a hit with the Neptunes. Like they were coming back with ones. It wasn't just the people who were really hot at that time. It was whoever came by them for a song, came out
bro
with
is a
something
great
fire.
producer, bro. He's a great
Man,
he's
another
a great
level.
music mind, and you could tell. I mean, you look at because Pharrell been around since the early '90s. He's actually a lot
Oh
older
yeah.
than he looks. And you
Yeah,
look,
man. I don't say
Pharrell-
he's 50. He's already up there.
yeah, man,
50,
he might
51.
that nigga might be for about 55, bro.
I don't know if he's that old, but I know he's in his 50s. He's 52.
I was say
Yeah.
Pharrell was like 20 and like 90.
And still looks 20.
Oh, he does. He still looks
I
young.
want to make sure I want to try to hold in like that, man. So we got he
Well,
got
you
11
get you
years
some
on
money.
us.
You get you some money and stay out of trouble. It ain't that hard. You know what I mean? Keep
Yeah.
drinking some water and have your wife that got your back the way his wife got his back. You be all right. You know what I
I'm pretty
mean?
much up in there. I just need to get the money thing, I guess, then.
You look pretty dapper yourself, brother. You don't look old. You're good.
Oh,
You
man.
coming along. You know what I'm saying? You finally get some facial hair. It took forever.
Forever, bro. Forever. What's crazy is, my son will be 15 in 2 months and he already got a mustache. Already got a mustache, bro. Yeah, he'll be
Oh,
in there.
that's
I'll be giving him the lineup or something. He'll go, Can you get my
yo,
Yeah, and I'm
that's
like,
crazy. But
yeah,
no,
okay.
man, that's the thing. Like, cause we talk about Pharrell and the Neptunes at the time because it wasn't Pharrell by himself, but he was just kind of the face of
Right.
the group. But
Yeah,
right
definitely.
now, it's
Shout
Pharrell,
out to
and guess
Chad
what?
Hugo.
Pharrell did the Ti. He did let him know.
I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he did this song that just dropped from Ti.
The one that just came out? No joke.
Yeah, that's his. That's his.
But see, now I'm even more excited.
Yeah, bro. Like the drum patterns sound now. Like I said, they sound a lot. They sound similar to Rich Homie Quan, but you could tell like Pharrell just being his bag. He finds sounds
It's
that's gonna
yeah, yeah,
sonically
yeah.
move you, right? But he did that. He did the Clips project. So you talking about when you talk about like who you go to when you trying
So
to
so it feels like it's in a cycle. He might be redefining the sound or defining the sound again, is what it sounds like. 20 years ago, that he was in his era, I think, then, or they were as a producing team. And now it seems like those
yeah,
folks are coming again. So
it
what I was
feels like
saying probably rings true that if you go to a Pharrell and the Neptunes, they're more liable to, pull a hit for you.
well, you know what he's good at, man? He's good at taking the sounds that are used now and putting them in the same production quality that would have been done in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Hmm.
Because what we don't like to mention is now that we have so many different internet and computer producers, the sounds kind of go with whatever's going on right now because we naturally, okay, is this right now? We're going to focus on this, and this is what we're making.
Hmm.
And it sounds like
Hmm.
watered down. It's not really, the production is not as clean as far as the,
There's no musicality to it.
yeah, it's exactly. But when you listen to his production, you still feel the musicality. You feel that he's
Yeah,
taking time to
for
figure
sure.
out the drums, making sure the drums are good. which is one of the biggest parts about the art that is lost. Because remember when the artists came out in the 90s, man, when we were growing up, like an Outcast or and we're gonna really get into Outcast for sure, like an Outcast or a Lox, they were
Okay.
developed. Like they were a group
Yeah,
that
right. Mm-hmm.
A&R got with and was like, go record, record, record. I'm gonna send these producers to you. I don't like this. You guys need to tighten up here. You know, it was a time where you were developed as an artist. You just weren't allowed to just say, I'm an artist. You can say you're an artist all day, but we're gonna push you and put and get every piece of what we need out of you, what we're looking for. We're gonna push that out of you. Now artists can
Yeah.
be one-sided, bro. You like, dude, you ain't talked about nothing but guns for 5 albums. Where's
Well, it's
the
probably because people have broken in a different way now. We're talking about the
exactly?
age of social media and the internet, and people don't necessarily need a large scale operation to get their music out to the people anymore. There's not that professional development that you're talking about. It's not from a
Exactly.
professional level. It's very kind of raw because people can just bypass that whole apparatus now and deliver it straight to the people and say, hey, you can just click this link and buy this. You don't have to
You
wait
know what's
for
crazy?
these people to do XYZ. Yeah.
You can listen to like Gucci Man, bro, from his first when he first dropped. Now Zaytoven is a hell of a producer, always has been. Zaytoven worked with Juvenile before he worked with Gucci. You know what I mean? Like people don't know that. But Zay was already starting to get in his bag when he was still a church musician and a barber. You know, but
Oh,
at the
wow.
same time, it's because he's musically trained. He's nice, but at the same time, they were still Gucci was a part of that first time when we were really starting to see people push music out from just their houses. It was no longer you
Right.
gotta go to a big studio no more. Now you can do it at the house. It's enough computer equipment available. And we've seen where Gucci has developed from Is You Rolling to now to where you had
I got to tell you, too, that was one particular artist that had to grow on me over the years. I was
yeah,
not a fan when he first came out. I was just like, for real? Is this where we
I
at right
went I
now?
wasn't
You
a
know what I
fan of
mean?
Gucci neither, bro.
But
He
it
grew on me
definitely
though.
over time, I was just like, oh, okay. I feel like I see what everybody likes about him because he has a particular style and a particular sound too. I think that's interesting for a lot of times you hear singers and stuff that have a particular sound and you can tell their music when you first hear him. I think he has a sound of his own too
Yeah,
that
he's
is
definitely in his
really
own lane.
distinctive. Yeah, really distinctive. And I think it did grow on me over time. And I think that after a while, as you get older too, I think I also have some regional bias. I'll call it loyalty to
Facts.
people from the South because it feels so familiar to me. You know what I mean? I'm more inclined to pick some of that up or listen to some of that because it feels more familiar to me than something from up north or out west, even though I can have appreciation for that stuff too.
Well, I'll say this about Gucci. I think for me, it was because he had a raw sound. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And when he first came out, I was like, bro, this is just a little bit too ABC-ish. But as he worked on the craft by like the third project, I'm like, yo, he coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By then, I'm 412s in the trunk of the Delta 88. I mean, the Oldsmobile 98, not the Delta, but the
Yeah. Yeah.
Oldsmobile 98. And it's like, shoot, I'm finna play this. You know what I mean? Like, cause that shit sound good when you start playing certain songs, man. You got a lot of knock in it, man. Living in a
Yeah.
chicken with that big cuss.
Yeah, man.
But
Come
bro,
on.
hey,
Come
bro, that
on.
joint used to wham. So it was listening to that.
Yeah.
Even when you talk about people who had their own lane, like Pastor Troy, bro, like we really had a lot of different rappers
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
from our
Yeah,
generation
man.
that were bangers, which is why I'm looking now and I'm like to see rappers like kind of. I think we're at the first point now, and this is my point. Is it that we're at the first point that we're going to start seeing these artists that have gotten older still make good music? Because you got Juvenile is about to drop an album, and oh bro, the tracks that he got out right now, their problems. Yeah, he got some stuff out there too. So when you think about the people who are coming right now and what they bring into the table, I think it is time. It is something that we a question that needs to be asked. Are they irrelevant, or can we allow the culture to start moving forward and actually allow older rappers to still rap? Because they're no longer in, first of all, I think they're teaching young cats how to have other subject matter other than just like drill type of subject matter, other than extra aggressiveness, you know what I mean? I think we
Yeah,
need,
I mean the art of speaking metaphorically. I mean,
yeah,
shoot, you didn't
yeah,
used to have to say everything so directly. You know what I mean?
exactly.
These people are saying all the stuff now. Things used to be a little bit coded in cool language or something where you said this, but people knew you meant that. They don't do that anymore.
You know what a young
You
cat,
know, they're
what I
just
heard a
straight
young
up
cat say?
saying this stuff now.
This young cat said, he said, "Man, I can't listen to all that, man. You got to stop and think about what a person got to say." I said, "Wow." I said, "Bro, that's literally the
That
best part
is
of the art form right there."
And the fact that that is the part that drags it down for them is the exact point that I'm making, is that
Yeah.
to me, there's no real artistry in it. That's why I'm not really I don't feel any draw toward it. You know what I mean? It's just because I'm like, anybody could buy a microphone and just start speaking into it and going, "Hey, 8.99." You know what I mean? Like I don't
Stop right
know,
there.
but
Punch.
I'm not hearing anything that really is moving me, you know what I mean? But to your first or earlier point or question, yeah, I don't have a problem with people who are more mature coming in, and staying relevant. I think if you still have it, what's the point of not using it and bringing people what they want?
Well,
I say if you still have the talent, if you still have the ability, and you don't just look ridiculous. Now, I will say it's hard to go to a music festival or something and you got 20 to 25-year-olds and a dude come out with a full white beard or something like this with some of the raunchiest music you'd ever want to hear. And I'm just like, what is happening right now? You know
yeah, I
what I
feel
mean?
that.
Like,
I feel that.
it just takes me all out of it. You know what I
I
mean? You
feel
better go
that.
get you some Touch of Gray or something if you're going to be out here with people this young, because you're taking it all out. Like, it just messes with the whole visual. But like I said, I think if you got the skill, cause LL Cool J dropped the album over the last year too, and
And
it wasn't
it's,
bad. He still got the skill,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And see, that's the thing. If you're a great lyricist, you're a great lyricist about anything. Most lyricists write country music, like Nelly. Nelly writes
Right,
country.
right.
T-Pain. T-Pain is not even an R&B artist. He's more so a rapper that like started doing
Well, I
singing.
think
That
he categorizes that the other way though, doesn't he? No, he is a rapper first, right? And then the
yeah,
singing thing kind of just happened
yeah. It just took off
along the way.
as a joke at that. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah. He
saying?
heard that doggone auto tune thing. Somebody was like, "Hey, we could do something with that."
And he made it jump. And the thing is, bro, he's such a good singer without it. It's crazy because people thought he couldn't sing, and I'm like, nah, this a whole Barry Manilow over here. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So is
I will say he is more talented than I gave him credit for.
yeah,
And the fact that it's been 15 plus years or so, and he's still out here in one way or another capitalizing on his strengths, I think is pretty good, because I will say he was another person who at the time when he came out, I was like, no.
you tripping too, bro, because he literally he responsible for so many hits, bro. Like he made
Yeah, yeah,
T-Pain
yeah.
may make the
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, bro. He may make the rock.
And you know what? I think he will, and I think it won't be a huge deal because he had such crossover appeal. Even at the time that he came out, there was everybody was buying that music. It was black
Yeah,
people and white people. Everybody was. It wasn't a thing of. I think I just felt it like it was so gimmicky. And when I get a thing kind of in my
stuck in
head,
your
I'm just
head.
like,
Yeah, you
I
can't.
didn't want to hear it. Every time that you hear that auto tune thing, I was like, turn it off. I don't want to hear it. But there's no doubt that the track was good, the verses were good. I just didn't want to hear it. You know what I mean? I'm
Bro,
like,
let me tell
ugh,
you something.
ugh.
One of the best albums that you could ever listen to is Epiphany. That shit is great, bro. T.I. had some track. I mean, not T.I. T-Pain had some stuff on that album, bro. Like, but I get where you're coming from because he's a part of the. So they got them apple bottom jeans,
Right,
boots.
right, right.
Well, he got a lot of that now. He got a lot of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, man, that stuff made a lot of money for artists who were because Flo
Yeah.
Rida was a gangster rapper. He was more gangster, but when he found that lane and it was an opportunity to make money, he was like, you know what? That's what we talking about now.
Yeah.
Might not be my
Yeah.
favorite thing, but guess what? It's making me
Yeah, well,
way more money than the average rapper. And if
that's
it's
the
about
truth.
getting out of your situation and you're a real artist, and that's what Flo Rida is, he's a
Yeah,
real
and I
musician.
don't think he wasn't hurting anybody. It wasn't like he went
No,
MAGA. He just went,
no,
he just was delivering for a particular fan
audience.
base. And I
Yeah,
think that's great. He wasn't saying anything that was beyond the pale or bad. It just appealed
no,
to a certain group. I don't have a problem with that at all. Go do your thing.
Pitbull
I
too.
wasn't buying it. You didn't need me to buy it. You know
But
what I
see,
mean?
that's
Pitbull
the
too.
difference. That's the difference between our artists from our generation and the reason we need them now than the artists that you have now in this newer generation of kids that have come out over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, our artists were able to make music that could carry. Like if you told them to write a song about this, any type of subject matter, they could write it. They could write it. It wasn't no problem for them to get on, sit down for an hour and give you something that fits the bill. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you need this type of song? I got you. Now you tell a young cat that they get offended because they can't make it. And then they got an attitude
Mm-hmm.
in the studio. They got an attitude. They, man, fuck this shit, bro. I'm doing this lame ass shit. You know how they talk. You know how these young boys. I ain't calling them YNs. You know how these young boys talk. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like, so it's that, bro. It's that, man. And so I always say, like, you know, one of the biggest disappointments as far as music for me in the last like 20 years is Andre 3000 not dropping another album. And I'm like, and to hear him say, man, I ain't got none of these kids want to listen to, bro. I'm the kid that you trying to make music for. I'm still younger than you, big dog. I want to know about what happened to your in your life. You know what I'm saying? How's Seven doing? How your relationship with your son? Because I got one too. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? How
Yeah,
are
because the
you as a
last time
dad?
he mentioned him and the son, he was turning 5, and when I probably do this mix, he'll
You'll
probably
probably
be
be
6.
6.
You know
Facts,
what I
bro.
mean? That was 20 years ago. What's he doing now? What's he
For
doing now?
real, like what's going on? You
You
know,
know?
so it's because
Yeah, that's a
I
good
think
point.
like T.I. gonna give some of that on this album. Like he gonna give you some T.I. versus T.I.P., some of the more urban legend feel. But I think he
Yeah,
also
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
give
yeah.
you like, you know, I got 2 sons now that rap. I got a son that do a dope, a contemporary rock. You know, it ain't contemporary rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like old school rock, but it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Buddy Red Fly. So it's like it's a lot of stuff that can be delivered to us as a consumer, and we can't run away from that. What we can't do is bury people that ain't dead. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We trying to retire artists that still got it, because I'm ready for another Young Dro album. You know what I'm saying? And Dro
Yeah,
up
yeah,
there too.
okay.
Dro like 47. He 40. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I hope I'm not overaging them, but you know they not young artists, man.
No, no, yeah. I mean, they have to have grown up. We grew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they were older than us, so I think it's a safe bet to estimate that he would be in
like
his mid to
I want
late
to say he like
40s.
5 years older than me. You know, I'm
Yeah,
41, so
yeah,
you gotta be like
yeah,
46 somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
It's it's those, man, and I'm excited about what's coming out because I feel like, bro, we still the coolest generation of whether you talk
I think
about
so.
music heads, whether anybody who's born in the 80s or I'll say the late 70s, that generation X to early millennials,
Mm-hmm.
the coolest generation of people ever. And if you think I'm talking about a millennial that was born in 93, no. Slap yourself. Talking about millennials born in 89 and under. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's that no, it's that generation of people, man, that class of music that to me is upper echelon in a different way. I don't think we have a lot of upper echelon artists now. And the thing is, the artists that run the top of the industry, they still feel like older artists, older music. They still the Kendrick Lamar's, the J. Cole's, even Drake, even
That that was about to be what I was about to say, that there are some folks who emerged in the 2010s and on up who I do think cut that same mustard or cut from that same cloth as the people we were talking about before. And I was thinking about people like J. Cole and people like Kendrick Lamar, even though I will say I didn't really start thinking about J. Cole seriously as an artist until he started putting down more professional roots here in this area, since I didn't even know he grew up in the Carolinas,
yeah, in
and yeah, so he lives in, I think, Cary
Oh,
now, or
okay.
something of that way. And, when they started doing that music festival here, Dreamville, And that's when I really started paying attention. I'm like, man, this dude got some real skill. Like he is, you know what I
Well,
mean?
no, he's one of
And
the
I had never
greatest.
really, and I think he is one of those people who generationally is at the top of the craft and is really skilled because he can turn a phrase too in a way he can do that stuff I was talking about. Use language and metaphorical language in a way that is really, it really makes you think. And I
Yeah,
like that kind
yeah,
of stuff, unlike what some of these young folk would be talking about now. I like when people can get you to see something in another way. Think about it
yeah.
like
Like,
this. Have you feel something in a way because they said they compared it to something else, something more tangible to you. And I think that that is just such a lost art that they don't have right now. Everybody is trying to
yeah,
do some weird affectation with the way that they sound. And I think that's the thing now. You're mumbling or you're doing that weird rhymes, that thing. I hate that. I hate that so much. Every time I go to hear that, I'm like, oh, I
yeah.
don't
When
want
it
to hear
comes
it.
to
I don't like it because I feel like you're hiding the fact that you don't have any real talent. So it's coming
yeah,
out in a, let me make it sound cool in a way, you know what I'm saying? Or sound interesting in a way because I don't really have the bars
straight up, when
to
you
make
know a
this work.
person is nice, all the nice rappers use their name. Like Nick Grant is my favorite rapper.
Man, I was about to say, because you put me on to this dude like 10 plus years ago, maybe.
Nick Grant
And
is one
I
of the
have,
dopest artists
yeah, go
ever
ahead.
to grace a
Yeah.
mic. And I
Yeah.
say that not being biased, just being honest. Bro is
I mean, you
cold,
might be a little biased, but it is true though.
bro.
I will
Yeah,
say
whatever.
it is absolutely true. Because if you I would take your word for it and listen to him just because you told me so. But I
Yeah.
think actually, well, not told me so, but suggested it.
Well, I get what you're saying.
And I did. I remember listening to some of his music like early on. And I think what hooked me was he had made a song, I think it was called like Denzel Washington or something like that. And
Yeah,
everything about it was like stuff from movies he had done
yeah,
and things he might have said and stuff
yeah,
like that. And it was, I mean, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. The ability to, even if somebody said they put you in a bottle and say you can only talk about this, and
yeah.
still deliver something that is really cool, something that was memorable. I think after a listen or two, I had the lyrics. You know what I mean?
Denzel
That
Washington
dude
was
has
dope.
real
Denzel,
skill, man. And
yeah,
it's good to see that for him, the career is building still.
yeah.
I don't think people have got a chance in a real way, in a real broad way to see him
You know,
yet.
that's
And I think once they do, it'll be cool because he's around our age, right? He is our age.
yeah, no, Nick is, yeah, he's older. He's like 38, 37 or 38. He might be
Okay.
36. But the thing is, bro, like, that's how you know that something in the industry pushes us not to go into no conspiracy theory shit, because this is kind of where it goes. But something is pushing us away from good music. Because truth of the matter is, it's nothing about Nick Grant that says that he shouldn't be as big as a Kendrick, J. Cole, or,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
like, we could call it bias, you know what I mean? I'm okay with that. But just, I know music, bro. I know music. I know what sounds good. I know what sonically should go. I know what shouldn't. He's definitely, bro, man, after he made,
I mean, he is technically skilled though. I think that says a lot too. It's
yeah,
not just the fact that the music is musical and everything sounds good. Like he is actually skilled. For
yeah,
me, that is at the top of the heap. Somebody
yeah,
you can go out and buy a good track from just about anybody, but what you put on it matters.
yeah.
And
Can you make a
this
good
dude
track good
is
because of you and
right.
not the
This
other way
dude
around?
is so technically skilled and he seems so comfortable with the craft. You know what I mean? Like he knows who he is. He understands what he is there to do, what he brings to the table. I think is really cool. Yeah, man. You should try to see if we can get him on here.
You know what? I will.
That'd
I
be great.
will.
I think we're probably a smaller venue for him, but hey,
Yeah, he's dope though, man.
I would like to talk to him and get his impressions on what's going on because we're gonna run out of time here. What I was about to say is, who would be your top if you had to go through and rank folks from the different eras, say the 90s and 2000s, the 2000s to the 2010s, the 2010s to 2020s, who's at the top of that pile for you? Is it anybody who is in all those eras that have made it all the way through? Or are there some people who left or came back, or some people who just emerged a little later on?
Well, I can't say if I were to go through eras, because you can't put them all through. It's just like trying to say Michael Jordan is good for now in basketball. I hate when people do that. I'm like, no, it's a different game. He don't play anymore, you know? So it's
yeah, I'm not saying Grandmaster Flash is as good as Andre 3000 or something like that. Like, yeah.
But look, so if we're talking about I'm gonna say LL Cool J, Run DMC. Run could rap, bro. Like a lot better than what we think now. I would say Big Daddy Kane. I'm a big fan of Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, no joke.
And also KRS-One is dope too.
Okay.
Now, if we start talking about the 90s, I'm gonna be more tuned to say, well, no, this would be Rakim too. Rakim would be in this as well. So Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC, LL Cool J.
Rightly, a lot of up north, because that's pretty much all it was at that time.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Now, when we get into the 90s, if I'm going to add somebody from the South, I'm going to say Kilo Ali. I do feel like Kilo Ali. If you from the South and you don't think Kilo Ali was one of the top 5 rappers in the industry.
Bass music.
Yeah, bass music, bro. I mean, and mostly because if you're from the South, music was real regional. And Southern people were listening to a lot of up north music, but one that broke through and kind of had hit after hit was Kilo Ali. That Boom, White Horse, Nasty Dance, Put It in Your Mouth. He
had a string of string of bangers out there. No joke.
You got Kilo Ali. In the 90s, I'll also put, I think Rakim was still dope up until like 94, 95 when he kind of stopped or slowed down. But I would put Jay-Z in the 90s. I'm gonna put Outkast as one, because they were a singular entity to me. Also, I would put Ball and MJG.
Come on, I was wondering if they were gonna come up.
Yeah, bro, come on now.
I was wondering
now, because we're talking about mine. We're talking about mine.
Right. Yeah.
Now, and I also say UGK too. I'm a big UGK. Being from the South, I'm gonna definitely give you more Southern effect than North. I did like the Loonies a lot. I am a big Loonies fan. I thought they were dope.
I got 5. I got 5 on it.
I got 5. Big fan. You know, that's where Mr. Cheeks was dope for me, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say he's top 5, but for somebody in the world who knows his music, he is top 5. He was definitely a lyricist that was dope. We get into the 2000s. That's gonna be T.I. for me. Young Dro is definitely in my top 5 for the 2000s mark of music. I wasn't really messing with a whole bunch of people up north. That's tough, bro. I can't lie to you. The 2000s is tough because I'm leaning towards T.I., Dro, Big Crit, which people don't even.
I like Freeway around that time.
You like Freeway?
I did.
If I'm gonna say Freeway, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and say Styles P. Yeah, I'm gonna put Styles P. Because I'm gonna put them way above Freeway. I gotta put the Diplomats, Joel Santana.
Turn off.
But no, they were a force, bro.
Which one of these niggas still be saying pause all the time?
Cam. Him and Mace on It Is What It Is, which is a great show, man. You guys should check it out. Mace and Cam are doing some awesome things over on the network.
Turn it off.
But no, I hate that pause stuff too. I actually get real frustrated with that, bro. But as far as lyricism, and you could say Mace in the 90s, he just didn't do enough.
Mace was with the wrong people.
Now, I didn't include Tupac and Biggie. It's mostly because they're not here right now. But realistically, Tupac and Biggie were probably the biggest artists of the whole 90s era without
that time.
recording past 95. Yeah. Without recording past 95, those are the 2 biggest artists. They had the most effect on the industry. So that's a little bit different. Yeah, man, if we get to the teens, man, I kind of stopped paying attention, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you, bro, because our music is just better, bro. I ain't trying to be biased, man, unless we're talking about a Kendrick Lamar. We have to put Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake. And this is after 2008, around there. So going to they pretty much ran through up to now.
All the way.
Yeah. So we would have Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. I put Nick Grant in that because I've been listening to Nick Grant since about 2010. Yep, 2008 actually.
Yeah.
So I put him in that category. And right now, one person that I think is getting ready to like who's really bubbled real hard is JID. I think he's real cold.
I've heard the name. I may have even heard a song.
You follow J. Cole, he's a part of the Dreamville. Yeah, you follow J. Cole, he's part of Dreamville. So yeah, you've heard him.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's kind of where it is, man. I think Jid and Nick Grant can definitely kind of carry the culture right now.
Did he do Andre 3000's verse at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on, I don't say, was it Bombs Over Baghdad?
No, that was Tyler
Tyler the Creator. That's right. I was about to say whoever did that verse was, because that's a hard verse to
he lit that
live.
Shit up. He lit that shit up.
Man,
I'm not a big Tyler fan.
That was amazing. I don't really know his music, but I was impressed that day.
No, he
didn't miss a beat on that verse, and that is a hard verse to deliver live with the right kind of energy. And I think he succeeded that day. That was good. That was good.
No, Tyler the Creator is one of those thoughtful, like he put time into his art, like so his art is good. I will say that. I'm just not a fan. You know, that ain't got nothing to do with.
I don't know his catalog like that. I've undoubtedly heard some songs of his. I couldn't go into detail about any of it.
My lady got the record upstairs. She got his music, man. But I'm just not.
I think that's a good list.
Yeah,
I think about it in terms of sounds. You know, I think when we were coming up, people had a sound. Like, so it would be people who kind of had that more up north kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, Wu-Tang had their own kind of sound.
Yeah.
People like KRS-One had that more kind of battle cipher kind of energy going on. The people in California really had that laid back, cool thing up until it became kind of gangstery.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of a fine line trying to walk both of those.
Yeah.
And then Southern Playalistic came out, changed the game. And then you had people
the
like
South something to say.
Yeah. And then people emerged like 8 Ball and MJG.
There you go.
Like Player Fly. Like, you know, all of these people who were really kind of underground.
Yeah.
But had all of us in the South listening to their music. Because I used to be like, how are folks from Memphis getting their music all the way over here, but yet you don't hear them you don't see them on TV or in the big venues, but somehow we got their music here. And I think that's the stuff that used to make me so interested in it, is how is 3 6 Mafia, they don't have a huge deal, but somehow everybody's bumping their stuff over here. And they had a definite sound. Missy and Timberland had a sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pharrell and the Neptunes had a sound. And so I kind of was going for that. Outkast had a sound of their own. Goody Mob had a sound of their own. And when those sounds came together on like the Dungeon Family in the early 2000s, that was a whole other thing. You know what I mean? And so I think to me, it more talked to me in that way. Because when it starts coming, I'm like, oh, that feels like, you know what I mean? Like, it's about kind of how the music, how it feels to me.
That might be the biggest difference in music.
Bone Thugs and Harmony, they had a sound.
They did.
That kind of thing. What were you saying?
No, that's probably the biggest difference between then and now, too, is that you couldn't be an artist and mimic somebody and get rich off the fact that you sound too much like them. Like, it's cool that they inspired you, but you had to push the bar and find a way to make something for yourself. You could not become you couldn't become rich sounding like somebody who was already out. A rapper that sounded like Bone Thugs and Harmony wasn't getting played, bro. You wasn't getting no action. Because he was already a Bone Thugs and Harmony. Now you have like 10 artists and all of them sound exactly alike. And I'm like, bro, you literally have taken one sound from one person that did it dope and made it like for everybody, bro. Like that's not cool.
Watered it down. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I get where you're coming from. Like, that's why we got so much singing now, so much of this.
Right. Everybody, and that's the thing, is that I don't know if you can hardcore call it hip hop. Like, people say there's no more R&B hardcore like that. It's been meshed together. A person who's saying they're rapping is now singing their own hooks. A person who's saying they're a singer is gonna have a break for a verse in the middle of their song somewhere too. It's like everybody's trying to do it all. and the genres have blended together so much that I think it's hard to find somebody who is distinctively skilled in one thing or another. This person can sing just enough to sing their own hooks, or this person can rap just enough to throw a verse in their own R&B song, you know what I mean, and so I'm just like, there's nobody that is cutting through who is the next level singer. There's nobody who is cutting through who is the next level of this generation that is out now. I mean, the people of our generations, they've come up, we've seen them, we've seen what they have. But I think everybody right now, the style is this mumble thing. The style is this whatever it is. And I think everybody's hiding behind that.
Yeah, you don't
And
have
not
R&B singers
they're
doing
not
ballads, like where you actually
no, no,
stretching your
no.
vocals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't have
yeah.
that.
Everybody's just trying to hit whatever this formula is so they can inject it into the algorithm and see if they can get some folks on TikTok to do this with
But
it or
this is what's
something like
crazy
that.
though,
And
and what's
it's
crazy
just
is
turn it
when
off.
you talk to your kids prefer to listen just like my kid. My teenagers prefer to listen to older rap music, older R&B
Oh
music.
man, for
They going
sure.
back.
That's
They
a
going back.
whole other episode right
We
there
got to talk about
because
that, bro. We
we're
got
gonna
to
have to
talk.
talk about that one on the next because you are absolutely right. There is so many times where I hear these like Gen Z kids and even younger. My kid is Gen Alpha and he likes the stuff from our era too.
Yeah,
And so, and it's not even just the music, it's like everything. The
the
whole pop
clothes.
culture thing from our era, I think is really big with them. So yeah, that's a whole
So,
other man. I
so we
want to
gonna
talk about that, but we'd be going for a whole other hour and
yeah. So man,
I say
this is
let's hit that one fresh. But yeah, man, that is something to think about. The fact that it's not been around long. You know, they just did this. Well, I guess it's been around long. 50 years is a good amount of time. But to see the length of time compared to other genres of music is still very young. And to
yeah.
see how it's moved over time and grown and shrunk and changed in different ways. But that's the reason to kind of cap it off why I think we should still have those folks who are 40s and 50s and whatever to still be in the fray if they still have the skill.
Yeah,
Because people should still have that example of what
there
it
you go.
is and what it was at the time. And if you're still capable of doing it, come out here and school these fools, man, because everybody's just doing this thing right here. You know, and I just cannot stand it, bro. I
Not
can't
just
stand it.
that,
Somebody please come out, open your mouth, you know, give us a verse that you
funny, bro.
thought about for more than the time it took you to walk through the door and get into the booth. You know what I mean?
Not just that.
Impress us again, man.
Not just that, man. We need to show these young cats that you can get older and that you can mature.
Yeah,
You
for
don't
sure.
have to stay the same kid from at 20 years old that was ready
Yeah,
to jump into a crowd recklessly with people with
yeah.
guns. We have to show
No,
that.
we want to see that growth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know that you're old enough to know not to try to fuck somebody's wife. That's what I like about Andre 3000 again, man. Like, when he started to pull himself away, man, he was in a different bag. The Hollywood Divorce was a different song.
Man.
16 Ain't Enough was a different type. His verse on 16 Ain't Enough may be other than Bun B's verse on Murder. I feel like 16
Yeah.
is probably one of the best verses to ever broach a mic, bro. Like what he was saying in 16 Ain't Enough. If you go listen to that song, bro, it was so mature, bro. But it was at that particular point, anytime Andre 3000 hopped on something and he was the feature at that particular point, man, he was absolutely murdering whoever he was on the song with. And he was doing it with such a mature palette. It wasn't the same thing that he would have gave you on Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. It
Right.
wasn't that,
Yeah.
bro. It wasn't AT Aliens. It wouldn't even stank. It wouldn't even Stankonia. It was
Yeah.
like he's bro,
No, I think his skill is evolving.
yeah. And
You know,
so
it's rap wise, it's godlike level. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
it's up there. You know, yeah, for sure.
So I feel like that's what every artist should be chasing. You should be chasing where you going, not where you at. Like, let's not stay here. Let's not try to be stagnant. Cause I said this before, stagnant water is dead water. You can't drink that. I can't consume stagnant water to kill me. We
Yeah.
can't consume
So,
stagnant.
do you think that I guess just to cap that off, do you think that the statements he makes about maybe not having anything to say is just to take the pressure down off himself, or do you really think he believes that he doesn't have anything left? Because when he comes out with a feature any other time, it's still murdering. You know what I'm saying? So do
Exactly.
you think he's just saying that to lower the pressure off of himself because people are just clamoring for more Andre 3000 music, or do you think that he really believes that, he may not
Unfortunately enough,
be as relevant as we think he is?
unfortunately enough, I think that Andre really believes that no one wants to hear what he has to say. Not so much that he doesn't have anything to say, but I don't care if you rap about politics. If you can make it sound as dope as he can make music sound, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna be
We're
like
gonna
this.
listen. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you press the play yet? I want to hear it. So it's one of those situations, man. Because
Yeah.
you got Killer Mike that just released a bump, man. Come on, man. In the last 2 years, Killer Mike is like 45. Man. Killer Mike maybe older.
I feel like he's older than that. I want to say
That's
he's
what I'm
like
saying,
48,
man.
49. Yeah.
And so, like the album that he released recently, Michael is one of the coldest albums that's came
Oh
out
yeah.
in a
Oh yeah.
while,
No,
bro.
without a doubt. I
And
actually
Nick
listened
Grant
to that one.
dropped Sunday Dinner at that same year, and I was like, damn. 'Cause I thought Nick Grant, I'm like, Nick got it, bro. Like this year, he got the best album I've heard. Now he wasn't nominated because he doesn't have enough push. But at the same time, when I listened to his album and then I listened to that album, I'm like, shit, like that Sunday Dinner was a classic album from Nick. But Michael was just as hard. I couldn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these albums are top tier. When you talk about
Yeah.
level that's really high up there, and it was to hear young people be like, "I don't know who that is." Like, bro, go listen, go do your homework.
Do
Like,
you, man? Come on.
it ain't my business to tell you go do your
Yeah.
homework. Go listen
Yeah.
to them. If you can't find something sonically nice, appealing about that something that resonates within you from
Then you don't understand what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? And what this whole thing is about. Yeah.
exactly, that's my point, man. Like, so realistically, bro, I think our generation, yeah, we're gonna talk about this, bro. We're talking about what millennials offer to parenting and to the music industry, bro, because it feels like our music was definitely something that was way bigger than a lot. I feel like our
Yeah.
generation,
But like I said, our everything. We could put a side by side on everything. The
facts.
kind of things, the kind of people we were, the kind of things we were into, the shows we watched, the cartoons we were into, the music we listened to, all of the stuff, the games we played, everything from our era coming up seems to be still popular, still relevant. You know what I mean? And
All
so
right, guys.
I think, yeah, that's if you don't agree, listen next week and bring your comments, and
For real,
I'll
that's
be
where we're
happy
going.
to go back and forth with any generation. Y'all can bring it. I believe that our
Yeah,
generation, and that's not to take anything away, because hey, those people lived through this generation as well, and they got to enjoy. I mean, shoot, Martin ain't our age, but that show came out during our era, so I claim it. You know what I'm saying?
we claim that. We claiming Martin,
Right.
baby. What?
Yeah. So,
We
but then you can
we
have
sit down
people from an
everything.
older generation say Martin is our age, so we claim him. But it's our era, so we claim him too. And that's what I'm saying. You can take a part in this. I think there's a lot of ways to parse it and say, even though Andre 3000 was a rapper from our era, he's not our age. You
No,
know what
he's
I'm
not.
saying?
But he's
So
our
there's
era.
a lot of different ways to parse that. Somebody who's 51, 52 could say, no, he not y'all's, he's ours. I was in high school when it came out. Y'all was still in elementary school, kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
But see, that's why I said late Gen Zers to late
Gen
Gen
Xers.
Zers to late millennials, man, early millennials, because that was like from that 75, 77 range to like
Yeah.
90, bro. That particular group of people that was born in that particular time, man,
Mm-hmm.
we have experienced some dope stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, let's make this a series, man.
Next episode. Yeah.
Next week we're gonna broach the subject of maybe not even music. Maybe we'll be talking about the sitcoms, man. We'll get into the sitcom bag for sure next week, man. But
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
this will be this has been an awesome episode, man. I'm looking forward to the conversation next week where we talk about our favorite 90s sitcoms, even early 2000s.
Whew.
We can kind of get
Oh
into
boy, that's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah, it is, bro. I'm
You know,
excited.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, man.
And you know, I still, just to piggyback, I do my homework all the time. And this era of streaming, you can still watch all of that stuff. Well, most of it. Most of it is streaming someplace. You know, so I am regularly watching shows from the 90s and early 2000s, even now. So I'm completely excited for that conversation next week.
My lady watched Martin and The Simpsons every night, if not Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, so
yeah,
that's what you're a Simpsons head, bro. You know more about The Simpsons than anybody I know.
I was just watching something last night. Yeah.
I remember being in college too, like, you know way too much about The Simpsons, big dog.
Yeah.
So
let me tell you something. My kid he knows more than I do. So I know the first half really well, and he knows, I would say he knows the first half as well as I do, but he knows the second half as well as I know the first half. And I'm really getting caught up because when you work and stuff and you got responsibility, you don't have time to be sitting around thinking about what the Simpsons episode is coming up. So I'm not catching it on the Sunday, you know, but he can do a deep dive and watch a full series, a full season in a day or two, where I'm still kind of catching up, watching on weekends and this and that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about that next week. That'll be good. But this was a great episode, man. I had fun talking about that, and I really just think that prove me wrong, people. The millennial generation has had a lot to offer, and I think it's because we have such a unique position in the timeline. We've had the chance to benefit from so much that's happening and to be a part of formulating what's happening going forward. So prove me wrong, folks. If you don't think that the millennial generation, you know, has been cooking this whole time and that we didn't have the best era of childhood coming up, prove me wrong. Come to us with your comments and stuff. Give us some stuff to talk about next week. Right?
Yeah, man.
Hey, take it away, man.
This has been an amazing episode, man. We appreciate you. We want you to like, comment, share, and subscribe for sure.
Please.
Remember, at Room 518, man, one thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that we push the culture forward so we can get to where we're trying to be and be there on time. Man, we appreciate y'all, man. If y'all need anything, feel free to comment under the comments. Like, if you got something that you feel like we missed, man, that we need to talk about. Maybe you feel like we didn't do enough justice to Ice Cube because he should have been in the top 5 of the, of the 90s, you know. And I'm a big Cube fan, so that's the reason I said that. But
look at that shirt. He wearing that Ice Cube today was a good day shirt right now. He representing.
I just need a Raiders hat on, bro, for sure. Oh man, that's funny.
How the Big 3 do last summer, man? Tell me about it. All right. But yeah, man, this was good. And I know some people are gonna say we missed some stuff, and some people, there's a lot to miss. There's gonna be some people came out to my Ice-T was the man and had it going back in the day. And hey, he, colors.
He was his
he
own.
Had some stuff cooking back then too. So I'm open to it all. I'm just saying that our era was the best. But y'all come with whatever it is, man. Like and subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll see you on another
episode of Room 518. Y'all be good, guys.
All right.